Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Samsara's 2024 Beyond event. I'm excited to be here with FreightWaves. It's our first event here, actually. So for me, I'm excited. This is honestly, one of my top 10 conferences right now for the whole industry. I've 2,500 people came to this, partners, customers, carriers, shippers, everything in between. And today we've got a couple more interviews we're going to do, starting off this morning with Fleetio. Go ahead and introduce yourself for the audience as well.
Yeah, Jake Martino, Vice President of Partnerships at Fleetio, and joined a couple months ago, came from Bridgestone, where I worked across the tire, service, mobility, financial solutions businesses. So happy to be here.
Was that your first role within the transportation space?
Yes, that was. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
There's a lot of interesting technology related to tires that are coming more into play too. So it's a nice little transition for you into Fleetio as well. For maybe people watching who don't know what Fleetio is or does, can you give us a nice little elevator pitch for us?
Yeah, no, what attracted me to Fleetio, just coming from the industry, was how Fleetio makes it so easy to centralize all the critical data assets so that you can really run a robust fleet maintenance program. And what Fleetio really does is it centralizes, whether it's from telematics or all these different sources, allows you to figure out how to run your maintenance program more effectively, and then actually track all the costs associated with it so that you can make really smart decisions on when to cycle assets, when to take assets out of service. So it's really a system of record for all of your assets, vehicles, et cetera, to run them as efficiently and effectively as you can.
Love that. So what's your role? You're here today. It's interesting partnerships. Yeah. Quite literally makes sense why you're here in this interview as well. What's your main goal? What did you come here this week and said, this is what I'm set out to do?
Yeah, well, a couple things. First of all, it's great to just meet with customers and potential customers, especially being 2 months in, to just hear what are we doing really well for them? What are their next pain points that we can solve? Secondly, meeting with like-minded partners who want to collaborate to actually solve these challenges that fleets are facing more and more. Those would be the top two reasons. And third, just to hear about the latest innovations that everybody across the industry is making and keep your hand on the pulse of that. So this is a great place for folks to come together and share those exciting activities.
I want to maybe elaborate on that. If we're talking to customers and the partners in here as well, what are you noticing is a top of mind and that everyone is maybe concerned on fixing or addressing in the industry today?
I think people want more and more seamless integrations between systems so that their folks don't have to navigate, in a very time-intensive way between all these different platforms. So I think people are really focused on how can we bring more of this data together and more of these platforms together. And actually for Fleetio, it's been helpful to hear about the latest innovations that Samsara is rolling out. We were talking about the operations kickoff yesterday.
Yes,
they talked about their latest features. And that's so important for us because we've built an integration with Samsara that's one of our strongest and most comprehensive,
awesome.
To bring the near real-time telematics data from Samsara into Fleetio so that you can get those DVAR defect alerts, resolve them, and make sure the status of that vehicle gets populated back into not just Fleetio, but Samsara. So understanding where they're going, what more data we can pull in, how to make our integration stronger so that our mutual experiences have a better experience both on the Samsara platform and the connected Fleetio platform is critical.
Yeah, because what's the best way for me to say this? First off, technology integration and adoption is difficult. And I think for carriers in particular who have kind of worked with these antiquated systems for so long, that can be tough to adopt a lot of these tools that can really, really help support them. How do you feel that partnership with Samsara and even the team working with those carriers, how do you manage that change for them so that they kind of understand this is worth it at the end of the day, even though you might have to change the way that you've been used to doing things in your organization?
Yeah, I feel like technology has really moved the industry from a people-dependent kind of stance to a people-enabled stance, where the human element's always critical, but being able to free up your time to work more efficiently and make smarter decisions. So we try to meet customers, where they're at, understand where they are in their digital transformation journey. Sometimes that starts with telematics, sometimes that starts with maintenance. But our integration with Samsara, number one, it's very seamless to get started when you talk about automatic VIN decoding and these types of things. So getting your vehicles into the system and all of your past records, through uploads, very easy. Yeah. And then also, the one-click navigation between systems doesn't make it as hard as you may think to actually, move forward.
It's very interesting because it's I come from more of the brokerage side of things, but I will say doing the data integrations, adding a new system or adding a new tool that is going to be worth it is such a headache. And so I I love that you're addressing, well, at least acknowledging the fact that that's exists, right?
And I think we're in a good position because unlike, ERP systems or some of these massive transformations, getting started with Fleetio is very, very easy.
Yeah. And I've heard from, I mean, for people who are watching all these videos as well, and everyone out there too, like the Samsara makes that process easy as well. And I think that's what's great about it is like, we were just talking about this at dinner yesterday. It's like hiring a team to help build these solutions in-house, and like an average truck owner or fleet owner has never hired that position before, has never managed that position before. So
it's probably not the best use of time. I feel like, talking with partners here, it's wonderful because the best partnerships are where you're focused on what you do well. They're focused on what they do well, and it's very complementary. And I think when you talk about such a complicated ecosystem and such a complicated set of technologies, having partners that really, focus on their specialty and integrate seamlessly together, that's what makes it easier ultimately for fleets to adopt the latest tools.
Yeah, most definitely. So I want to go back to you a little bit as well, and joining Fleetio. Why that transition? Why did you choose Fleetio of anyone to go to as well?
Well, Bridgestone and Fleetio did business together and still do. So very familiar, with the company from that regards. But I just think, yes, the maintenance technology is super powerful as it is today, but the possibilities are really endless. You can track any asset on Fleetio and use it really as a system of record to, run your fleet management program, broadly speaking. And I think on top of that, for Fleetio, when you think about where maintenance operations are today, right, we've come so far, but there's still so much more opportunity ahead, right? Leveraging things like AI to make, getting those insights much quicker, predictive insights, all those types of things. So I thought, okay, great company, great brand, really intuitive software, probably has some of the strongest integrations with some of the, leading players like Samsara across the industry. It's a really strong platform to start from, to continue to innovate and build into the, vast market that there's.
Well, it's like, I feel, especially coming from like the tire situation, right? Like maintenance is so important to so many different elements of running a good trucking company. I mean, one, hiring drivers, keeping drivers. They're not going to want to be in equipment that's always breaking down or having
not
issues.
Safe. Yeah.
Not safe. Well, then you take that, right? The fact that we don't want accidents on the road. And we all know most juries are going to point the finger. Unfortunately, we're working on it. We should all, any consumers out there aren't in the industry watching, like, give these drivers some love a little bit. But unfortunately, these like nuclear verdicts are taking carriers out. We report on it pretty much every day recently at FreightWaves. And then even that, like if you're a good shipper, you're driving down the road and you constantly see a certain company broken down on the side, like
that reputational damage can be huge.
So I love that people are thinking about how can we use the modern day technology, AI, to be more predictive and what's the word I'm thinking of? Proactive, right?
That's right.
Don't fix it once it's broken.
Correct.
Like, watch and make sure you get fixed or at least looked at, right, before there's a problem.
And to me, maintenance, right, there's really expensive assets. Even if you're a fleet of 20, 50 vehicles, that's a lot of money that you're putting on the table, and you want to make sure that they're handled right. And if you think about all different players in the ecosystem, like the maintenance piece is really a linchpin, right? The service providers, the fleets themselves, and making that experience too, not just for the fleets, but also for the partners that they're working with every day to actually service their vehicles.
Bridgestone, tires,
that's right.
Right? Like, it's a perfect little ecosystem for you. I love
service
that.
workflows, making them function quickly, get your vehicles back out on the road for both sides. I think we can just play a really important role kind of in the center of the vehicles in need and the service providers that are doing the work.
Definitely. Well, I want to get back to this event as well. And for you, it's your first one, my first one too. I will, like I said, I go to events all year long. The chats, the breakout sessions have all been incredible but that's just me. And I don't have a CDL and I'm working my way into it, but people might take you a little bit more seriously. For anyone watching, this event's going to happen again next year as well. And why should they consider coming to this, maybe as a partner, or even someone who's not a partner yet? Samsara.
Totally. No, the Fleetio team's come in years past, and so I immediately knew just from hearing from their great experiences that this is an event that I needed to come to. I feel like in this digital age, having the ability to meet with so many different customers and partners face to face in a condensed period of time is just invaluable.
Yeah.
Plus, like you mentioned, the different sessions where you can really deep dive into, a safety element and hear different perspectives on that across the industry. It's an action-packed 48, 72 hours, but it's really well worth it.
And I will say too, for the audience, like these panels are led by companies who have deployed these different partnerships, Samsara's technology with hundreds of drivers. So like yesterday I was in one for change management, and I know a lot of people is about, cameras and everything. And like, how do you get to adopt that without losing all your drivers? And oh my goodness, I'll be writing about it. So watch for FreightWaves to get the answer of what that is. But just the incredible knowledge and different pieces of advice from really large players is really cool too.
And it's been humbling for me, even just coming in new to the company. It was at a session the other day, and there was a woman from DHL who was talking about how Fleetio is one of the top integrations that they're working on actively that's providing value with Samsara. So just to hear that from customers,
win. Hopefully someone got that on video for you, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, that's gonna be a use case, a case study you see soon on the site.
There you go.
I love that. And DHL's got like this huge campaign on safety initiatives too. So that means you're a part of that, right? It's
absolutely
making sure that there's no issues on the road. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us. For everyone out there watching, if they want to learn more, reach out to you. What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, we'll be at the booth kind of on the far side of the hall. And hopefully people come by, check us out, and get to know us a little bit.
What's the website? Is it Fleetio.com?
That's right.
Perfect. Good .com company. I love that. Thank you, everyone, for watching this as well. Of course, if you're watching our YouTube page, make sure you like and subscribe. Or if you're watching Samsara, make sure you like and subscribe for them as well. And we will be back here soon with some more content from Samsara's Beyond 2024.